Hey everyone, hope everyone's well. Quite quick video on gold. I just want to make a bit of a point, if I may, about technical analysis. Now, as you will all know and understand, we don't use it anymore, and that's fine if you do, as long as you've got a strategy and a plan that you've back tested and you've got that nailed on, a rules-based approach. Then, if that works for you, that's absolutely fine. But there's a reason why 90% of traders don't succeed. There's a reason why 90% aren't profitable, and that's for numerous reasons. One, due to managing mindset, yes. Due to following rules, yes. But if you've not got rules, you can't follow them. That's a key point. But also the subjectivity of technical analysis. Now, let me try and show you what I mean. Not only is technical analysis subjective, and I'll probably ruffle a few feathers with this, but that's fine. If you disagree, you will disagree. That's fine too. Drop me a message. We can have a chat about it. Technical analysis trading is subjective. That's a fact. What you see one day, you might not see the next. Technical analysis can be also based around your mental clarity, your sharpness. That might be down to your diet, your exercise, how you're feeling, your emotional state. And if you come to the chart and see something one day and then look at the same chart and see something a few hours later that might jump out to you from a pattern perspective, then how is that helpful? So it also depends how you draw your trend lines, doesn't it? So let me just picture this, because I see analysis because this is, I guess, the platform where people share it, and that's fine. And there's a few things on this chart that I wanted just to touch base with. So a few people might have been, bear in mind, I use technical analysis for years, and to unlearn something and then relearn something is quite difficult for most people. And for then someone to criticize or maybe open your perspective or mind up to a different way of doing it, that takes some openness, really, to go, okay, I see your point. What other options are out there for you? So with an algorithm type approach, which is ours, you've not got to worry about being on your A game, about making sure you've had a good night's sleep and that you're thinking clearly. None of that stuff. It helps because they're habits that help keep you obviously healthy and up for it and positive and all of that stuff. However, it won't affect your ability to enter the market. So what we've got here is this impulsive move down. We've heard about this before. We've also got this corrective structure. We've probably heard about that before. Now, a few people would have sold here. We saw some rejection. We saw this candle rejection. There's a bearish engulfing candle in there, and that's fine, just here. So a few people, let me just delete that one. A few people, I'm sure, would have had a short position from here. Stop loss just above there, got taken out. Okay, that's fine. You would have also probably then seen a break above this trend line and a retest, and some people might have taken a long. Who knows? Could have been valid from a technical perspective. We've got this wick and this rejection off this trend line, maybe something like that. Oh dear, that would have hit as well. And also, it's knowing not only where your entry is when you're trading this way, but also where's your target, what's your exit strategy on that position. What else can we see? Well, there is something that is quite solid, and that is a horizontal line from around here. Price didn't want to break, and there we go. But there's also one here. So price didn't want to break. So how many people were also long here? Something like that. Oh, that didn't work out either, because we've seen area of support and resistance. Someone might have also drawn on this chart something like this, maybe descending trend line, 1, 2, 3. I can even make it fit if I want. And this is the other thing. So there's ego involved. There's wanting to be proven right. People are trying to find certainty And the only certain thing about trading is uncertainty. We can't control the outcome. It's an uncertain thing. Okay, I can't think of the right word. So how many were probably waiting to see if we got rejection from here? Or where do you draw the trend line? Maybe I can make it fit like that. Okay, see what I mean? So a small degree angle change on my trend line also shows a wick rejection. And actually here, look, maybe I can make these candles fit. So maybe there was a trade that somebody entered and, hey, look, I've been there, I know how this works. So here, maybe entered a bit too early here, it broke above, and then you convince yourself, oh no, actually, it might be there instead. I'll stay in the trade and I'll move my stop loss. Then it breaks above. So there's another trade idea here. So not only selling this trend line, oh, we've broken out. So maybe we enter another one. We might get a run and back up to test this high. We might run up all the way back to here. So there might be a long position from there to there. So you might have your target up here. You might have made a bit of profit there. You might have closed. Who knows? But it's just another idea. Or there's this one, look. So maybe we make that trend line fit. Maybe we've got the break and the retest and the price might go up. That could actually play out. Who knows? Or we've got something else, and let's look at this. So what's to say there was a trend line break here? Where do I draw it? I could make it look like that. I could make it look like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, break, retest, down we come, maybe. There's also a flag pattern here. Let's say, okay, there's one, and trade the long, but what target we're aiming for? Well, you might have closed it here. That might have worked, to be fair. Or we've got this. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, break. Fine, could have entered, or we wait for the retest and could enter again. But what if your trend line was like this? What if it was like that? What if you took a long off this trend line bounce? So what if when the price was here and you saw this reaction, here, look, off of that candle, okay, well, the trend line's held, we'll go long, and then it broke. There are probably 20 to, well, how many have I just gone through? Let's say even conservatively that there's 10 different ways of trading this chart. There's a reason why this game's hard, and it's because I've just seen lots of different things at a different time there. So what am I going to see the next time I come to the chart? What's my preference in the trade going to be? You know, it might be we look at this break here instead. There's another one. Things jump out to me all the time. I used to trade this way. Because that's how everybody else teaches you. Your broker will tell you about price action and technical analysis. Why is that? Do the banks trade like this? Do the big investment companies trade like this? I've not worked in one, so I can't comment. However, through research and understanding, I'm quite confident that there isn't a room full of people drawing lines on their chart. What they have is a mechanical algorithmic approach. So what have we got? How does it look? What am I comparing it to? Well, ultimately, this buy here was a loser, although the direction was correct. So a bit of subjectivity around stop loss placement on that one, but fine. Sell, strategy picked up the sell, down we came. We got a buy signal. This didn't progress. It could have done, clearly, like this flag pattern setup or break of this trend line that we may or may not have seen. But ultimately, we've seen a sell signal today that's at TP1. This could come up a little bit more and reverse probably around these MAs. This is how price works. And we'll see if that plays out or not. But if it doesn't, fine. If it does, great. But this buy here, we closed because we saw a sell. So this was actually a very small profit, but let's just call it break even. So ultimately, there's no subjectivity with any of that. There's a rules-based approach. We know when we're entering and we know when we're closing. And this isn't here to pick fights with a community because I can't run very fast. But it's about education. It's about opening your mind up and seeing that there are on one. This is one bit of chart. This is like, well, even if we looked at it from here, we've got a week's worth of candlesticks, and there are an absolute abundance of different ways to trade that same chart, or just do that. And yeah, there'll be times where this doesn't work and the other way does, but it's about consistency and sustainability over time. So hopefully that just makes you think. That's all I'm after. Just ponder what I'm saying. Have a look at the chart yourself and see how many different ways of trading that chart you might be able to see. And then think about how can you find your edge and be profitable with a specific strategy based on technical analysis with so much subjectivity involved. All right. Thanks for watching, and have a nice evening, everybody.